Welcome to the Take a Chance podcast with Chance Post. Today I'm here with Kelli Christina, my good friend and international best-selling author and CEO of KD Staffing. Welcome to the show, Christina.
Thank you, Chance Post. And by the way, thank you. You have been an awesome connection in 2021, and I'm so excited to be back with you.
I know, it's so awesome. We always have such a good time together. That's why I invited you down here for my first ever podcast show. So this is the inaugural event for the new, as it's labeled now, Take a Chance. So what we do is we talk about coaching, we talk about marketing, we talk about business. And today, Kelli has got a very successful business. She's a successful author. So I'm going to ask her a few questions, kind of talk about her story. And it's really going to be a great opportunity for you to get information that you can take home and use in your business. So Kelli, why don't we start off? Why don't we talk a little bit about what you do, KD Staffing, maybe a little bit about your book.
Okay. Should we start? Let's start with the mothership, KD Staffing in the medical industry, okay? Yeah. Because I'm honored and for 20 years to be with medical staffing and to be involved with our hospitals and medical facilities and all the different niches and departments that go into our nationwide healthcare. Right. So KD Staffing is my baby. We opened in 2007. And of course, we're in the staffing industry. Now, when I talk about the staffing industry, collectively, I think it's about $200 billion in this country. So we are a niche and we're a baby. We primarily recruit nursing departments, nursing managers, directors, mid-level nurse practitioners, physician assistants for every niche or specialty in healthcare out there.
And so we know it's been a tough year. And one thing I wanted to talk to you to help other business owners. What are some of the things that you did to kind of your company to pull through the pandemic, and now as things are starting to open back up, what have you been doing to kind of keep your company going?
Well, a lot of people presume and that because we're medical, we didn't get hit last year or whatever. And of course, KD did suffer a slowdown, and most of our permanent medical professional and staffing did slow down a little bit last year. Most of our medical professionals were out. Of course, they wanted the short-term travel COVID contracts where you're making over $100 an hour. Right. So we suffered a slowdown, but I've adopted number one. Progress, not perfection. Right. And then the level of gratitude. Like there's so many industries that literally shut down. Right. So for KD to suffer a temporary slowdown, then it was a level of acceptance last year. Right. Now in 2021, it's not accepted. We got to come out of the gates. And more of our medical professionals are coming off the COVID contracts and sinking back down into permanent jobs. Right. For my team member, we're permanent and we're contingent. So it's kind of works like real estate, how you pay. You got your rich months, you got your poor months. You have to know how to run your budgets. Right. I am one of those different company owners. Right. I will allow my people to work more than one job until they get full speed income with KD Staffing, because it's very important for me and my team members to be making their money. Right. So,
and I know it is kind of the gig economy now, so a lot of people do want to work those side hustles or whatever to make sure they can keep their family fed and build their business. I'm sure like if it's commission based, they can work on getting their pipeline full and getting more clients in line and so forth. So it gives them a chance to still make some money, and then they can switch over full time.
Absolutely. I mean, I want full-time employees, but I also know, Chance, in my career of 20 years, there was a couple squirrely jobs that I would take where they would bring you in and say, you'll make 40 or 60, but you're going to live off your own money, and 6 months down the road, you'll get that money. Something happens, you don't get your money. You kind of feel like, meh. With my people, I want to make sure they make their money and that they realistically, what can you expect coming in the door? And so if that means they need to work something on the side till they build up to full time, have at it. make your money.
So you don't sell them a story. You're honest with them.
I give them the straight facts on how commission works, and then by the way, when you get your big checks, you need to budget that money.
Right, keep a little in
savings. Don't go on
savings.
vacation a couple months.
That's right.
You got to keep going with the results.
I know how it is in sales. You make that big check, and you're off to Mexico or somewhere fun.
Yes. And for those that, and that's a big one, by the way. And how do you obtain, like I've won sales awards, year after year in my career, but I keep going. A lot of people, they'll get their big commission check, and you're right, they're off to Mexico, they're hanging out, they're relaxing. No, that is the time that you want to keep going with your results so that you can stabilize and keep growing.
Right. And I know one thing you mentioned too when we talked before, since we've done a few of these interviews.
Yes, we have.
One thing you notice, you're always super positive. And so I was wondering, what do you do to stay upbeat and positive? You've been through the pandemic. You've really fought through it.
Okay. Well, I have a huge spiritual life. I have a life program, and I have a life coach. And so if you work that long enough, which is, I'm going 15 years now, you have a more positive spirit. Now, some people will mistake that often because you smile a lot as you don't have any problems. Oh, you got the problems, all right?
That's right.
I'm a problem solver. I spend so much time with problems, but you can't focus all of your energy on those problems, or you're going to be miserable. So I feel like with gratitude and a positive attitude, you have a better mind frame for when you're handling those problems, but don't make it your life.
Right. That's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about your book.
Okay, let's do it. I'm super excited. Riding the Executive Roller Coaster, Medical Staffing Cases. Right. We hit international best-selling. We hit, I say my California publisher.
Right. There it is.
Yes. Sandy, Missouri, met her 3 years in New York City, California, publisher. I have to thank her because I couldn't do this project by myself.
Right.
And, but very exciting. We hit best-selling categories in March in 4 countries. Being inspirational testimonial is a big one.
Right.
Politics, government, legal. Go ahead.
What was the hardest part about writing the book?
The hardest part about my books are that my books and what I'm putting out are actual real life stories based on real life events, character, a little bit of fiction. So I would say for this book, this is my heart, my soul. This is my legal and government work, and this is my life story from 2010 to 2018. So you have to live the life.
Right.
You actually have to survive the life.
Yep. I've been known to have a good time.
Right.
So that's one thing. That's one thing I'm working on now is a new project with, happiness, having a good time, de-stressing. So that'll be more of that. Probably be the theme of the podcast moving forward.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. And so, can you give me a snapshot, like a quick description of what they can expect from the book?
So this is my favorite description when we're talking about an inspirational testimonial book. What does that mean? Riding the executive roller coaster. Where did I get that? That is life, and it's a life of an executive like myself, and based on my life story on when you're at the top, you fall completely to the bottom, and then how do you rebuild? And rebuilding is not something that happens overnight. Rebuilding takes hours at a time, days at a time, weeks at a time, years
Baby
at a time.
steps.
Yes, but once you rebuild and you actually survive that hard life, you're bigger, better, stronger, and way more thick-skinned.
That's right. That is awesome.
Yeah.
So Kelli, tell us, how do we get a hold of your book or get a hold of you? Both, actually.
We actually have it on the board.
Okay,
That is my new, where you can find the listed book and buy it. But it's www.KelliChristina.com, and it illustrates the book more, and there's the buy the book button right there. There's also a contact me, and myself, my team, we're way responsive, so we're going to respond back.
Okay, and then do you want to promote your website for KD Staffing?
Sure. KD Staffing is www.KD K, D as in dog, staffing.org.
Awesome. So I want to thank you for coming in. And I also want to thank my company, Total Care Emergency Rooms, for sponsoring this show. And they're really big into leadership and helping employees grow. A very spiritual company. So, and really big into leadership. So they've enabled me to have a podcast and promote that I can come out and do this. So there's our location in Denton. It's 311 Teasley Lane. And so full service emergency room, and they will cover all your emergency needs. And we also have urgent cares, and we have behavioral health. So, and they will pray for you. So it will cover your whole body and spirit. When you come to Total Care, they'll really love on you. So I want to put a shout out to those guys at Total Care, and thanks so much for coming in, Kelli.
Chance, and yes, and you're talking about Total Care, and you probably know, I'll raise my hand, I would absolutely love to be affiliated with Total Care at some point. And it would be an absolute blessing to staff you guys someday.
We'll see what we can do. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.